I go to voicemail. I'm not getting frustrated. You just not who I were looking for. I'm looking for board of directors, not cashiers. Am I right?
Right.
Walmart, when I was working for Walmart, they didn't make multi-billion-dollar decisions consulting with the cart pushers. Did they? They didn't come in and worry, hey, we got a massive meeting today, Candy. Let's get a meeting with all the truck unloaders. See what direction we gonna take the company in. Negative. But that's who we peaking. We peaking cart pushers. Am I right? Cashiers, truck unloaders. To run our multi-billion-dollar opportunity, that's who we want operating our business. Is maintenance men. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's who we want operating ours. So why don't corporations do it? Why are they selective to the point where I'm going to get the exact person I need in my business to take us to where we want to go? So that would be my conversation, 30 to 60 seconds. Get them on that call, 3 questions. What did you like most about what you heard? And whatever they say, I immediately agree with it. That's exactly why I took a closer look at it. You remember that guy I told you about? Listen, I'm going to see if I can get him on the phone with you. But before I do, would you like some more information? Yeah, cool. Okay. How quick can you get to your computer? If you can get good at that, we can make a lot of money in this business, y'all. How quick?
Could you repeat that? Could you please repeat that?
Okay.
Those 3 seconds.
30 to 60 seconds. What did you like most about what you heard?
Okay.
And psychologically, what that does is it impairs people to start positive. If you say, what do you like most about what you heard? You can't say, is it a pyramid off top, right?
Right.
You can't say, is it one of those scams?
Right.
Right? They have to say what they liked. It's open-ended. I'm getting the desired result that I'm looking for, and I know they can't be negative. 30 to 60 seconds, preferably. Did I say join? Listen, how quick can you get in front of the computer? I got to show you something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right.
How quick can you get? And then you start organizing your organization. Write that down. This is big. How can you have an organization if you're not organized? Does that make sense?
Yes.
To where you don't have a planner with appointments set. You're an executive now. You go to the doctor, you go to the dentist, they have a lot of clients, so many to where if they're on a professional level, guess what they have to do? Schedule appointments. And so you should be scheduling appointments. To where in your plan you say, hey, how quick can you get to in front of your computer? Okay. I'll be at home about 8:30. I'll be in front of the computer. I'll give you a call about 9 p.m. Cool. Give me a call as soon as you get in front of your computer. See what I did as a professional? I didn't give it to him. Most of us will say, hey, look at this website right here. Text it to them on the front end. Biggest mistake you can ever make. And some people are making that right now. If you give somebody something, they don't want it. But if you keep it from them, guess what they want more?
What you talking about?
Now they're curious. They gonna call me at 9 because they want to know. So what I do is say, hey, how quick can you get to your computer? I'll be there about 9 p.m. Cool, I'll call you back at 9. Click. Are you curious if I treat you like that?
Oh, yeah.
He just hung up on me. What are you talking about, right?
Right.
I want to know. But if I text it to them, this is the mistake. This is why it's a mistake. If I text it to them, I don't know if they got it. I don't know if they're going to see it. I don't know when they're going to see it. And more importantly, and what's worse is, I don't know who they're texting it to get their advice. Because if you text me a website 3.5 years ago when I looked at this and I seen it, I got my homeboy D still in his mama's basement in Michigan. Guess who I'm sending it to first? Him. And guess what he gonna say? Man, they about to get you too. Am I right?
Right.
And so if you just text it to them, they're not gonna tell you who all they're gonna, believe, confer to. So you want to control the process as much as possible because you want to be the first person they talk to after they see the information. You want to minimize as much exposure to sabotage of the information as possible. Because some people will send somebody a text message and follow up a week later. If they did see it, how many people have seen it that they sent it to that talked them out of it? I call you at 9. And when I call them at 9, write this down, call them when you say you're going to call them. Not 8:59, not 9:01. They're paying attention to it. Fine. He said, hey, call me at 3 o'clock. He was expecting for me to be unprofessional and not call that guy. Because he really didn't want to hear from me. He didn't really want to do the business. He was just curious. So he was expecting me not to call so he didn't have to answer and have to get in something like this. He said call at 3 o'clock. What time did we call?
3 o'clock on the dot.
And what did you say when I called?
I didn't expect you to call.
3 o'clock on. And so people are paying attention to your words because that's what integrity is. Doing what you said you were going to do when you said you were going to do it. Does that make sense? And so you call at 3 o'clock and say, hey, listen, this going to take a twist. Are you in front of your computer? I am. I need you to do me a huge favor. I need you to type this in. Some people will still follow up and give them the website. Right? I need you to type this in real quick. Into the URL, not the Google, because I don't want them to have any problems, because if you're doing a URL, you still got to look at other things. I want computer illiterate people to be able to just type something in, hit enter, and they're on it, right? I don't want to, which one do you see? I said, I don't want to do all that. Just put in the URL, and I want them to type it in physically. And tell me what you see when you type that in. Tell me what you see. And why do I ask them to tell me what they see?
Make sure they're
Right? It's well, I see something say cool, and then I see something positive like fabulous, fantastic, cool, awesome. I need you to click on business overview and tell me what you see, because I know they're doing it. I'm like, press play and pause. Okay, cool. What is this, man? What is this, man? I'm gonna show you in a minute. I need you to take out a clean sheet of paper so you can take as many notes as you can and pose as many questions as you can. I need about 30 minutes of uninterrupted time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you on the line with that guy I was telling you about that showed it to me. See if he can answer your questions, because I really think this is something that can help us make money. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so that's what we're going to do. And in those 30 minutes, I scheduled the appointment for when?
3 o'clock.
30 minutes away. From when we got off the phone, 30 minutes away. In those 30 minutes, they're watching it. And before I hang up the line, I say, hey, I got a couple more people that I thought of, but I thought of you first. I want your opinion first. We'll follow up with a couple of them and see if I can get in line with top. And that's when the edification of us go into play, right? This guy is all over the place. I'm going to see if I can grab a couple minutes of his time so he can get your questions answered. But I'm excited about what I saw. Then you call them back, same 3 questions. What did you like most about what you saw? Whenever they answer it, that's exactly why I took a closer look at it. Well, I was able to get on the line with Mary. Do you mind if I patch him in? You already text me, let me know to be available. Somebody was watching it. Am I right? And so I get on the line and give it back to you. This is the edification game. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get on the line, I'm going to give it back to you. So he's so humble. Anybody ever been on the line and heard me say that? He's so humble. He didn't tell you he's one of our top national directors. And me saying that, if you edify me correctly, they're going to take everything I say with face value on another level. And now that takes you to another pedestal. And they don't just look at you as a cook or engineer or their cousin for all these years. Now I'm saying you're a top director in our company. And now they see you in a different light for being connected to someone as successful as you spoke of me, right? It's the edification game. Beyonce put her panties on the same way as every woman in here, right? But she's so edified to where it's like she walks on water. Every time before she come out to a concert, do someone introduce her? Yes. How do they introduce her? Grammy Award winning actress, multi-millionaire, clothing line holder, such and such. Every time a preacher come out every Sunday, do someone bring them out? It's called edification. And so the audience see them in a different light. The reason why those people that perform before the actual performers don't have people respecting them, they wait till after they done, because no one's coming on to edify them. And so if you don't edify your upline the way it's supposed to be, you like that person that's opening up for the main attraction, am I right? You coming on like the opening act. Ain't nobody gonna respect you. You know, I'm a senior VP and you just say, hey man, it's Deontay. I'm like an opening act. They're gonna like, you didn't respect him enough to edify him up to a certain degree. So I'm gonna give it back to you, and then guess who else I'm gonna edify? I'm gonna edify
The
prospect.
prospect.
I'm gonna say, and being that I know Ashley in that will, that speaks louder. That speaks highly about the caliber of character you are because you're connected to him. And everybody I've spoke to Ashley Jackson know is some of the most influential people in Atlanta. So I thank God that I'm on the same line with you right now because I value your time and I value your energy. So then I asked them, hey, listen, how's life? How's your 2013 been coming along so far? We're going to get into form. Everybody knows what form is, right? Family, occupation, recreation, and money. I'm going to talk until they give me a hot button to close them with. People say, well, how you close people? People close themselves. I just use their hot button against them. If you talk long enough, you say, how's the family? What are you doing good? How many kids you have? Well, I got 3. What are their ages? The ages will tell you what type of activities they're involved in, right? And so once you know what type of activities they're involved in, you say, well, how often are you able to make those activities? And guess what they're going to say? They're going to get the beatboxing, right? Am I right, D. Woods?
Right.
Marky, they're going to get the beatboxing, right? I wish, man. They had me working 80 hours last week. I wish. Boom. Write this down. Mental note. Right? Don't try to memorize it because, if you're doing a lot of 3-ways for people, if you try to memorize, everything's going to mix up and if you got to follow back up 2 weeks from now, you're not going to know who's who. But I'm going to take you through the transition. Mental note. They need time because they would love to be at their children's extracurricular activities. Am I right? And then, so what is it you do for a living that has you on the clock so many hours? Well, I'm a physician. I'm a physician. Oh, you work with your hands, right? And, applaud. Don't talk down about it. Like, oh, man, you work long hours, man. Just say, hey, you work with your hands, right? You like what you do? And they're going to say, yeah, it's a job. It's a job. And then I give them ENT questions. Once I get to a hot button, now that I know that they don't have money, or student loans pile sky high, or they're about to be repossessed or foreclosed, or, they're going through some things with the wife, ENT question is shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't, didn't. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Mm-hmm. Shouldn't you be able to be at every one of your daughter's ballet lessons? Shouldn't you know when every report card pickup day is? Shouldn't you be able to help your children with every science project? See, that's massaging they hot button. And they're going to close themselves into the business because the only purpose of piquing people is to make necessary to everybody you talk to. And the only way for it to be necessary if it answers their need. Right? And so you have to speak on my 3-way. I'm going to speak until they give me a need. And I can massage that need. If it's not for them now and they don't have the money, I can call 2 months from now and I can pick back up from that need. You remember you told me that you needed more time on your hands? How that situation been working out? Did it self-correct itself? No, man, I'm still. Well, since we last talked, I'm about 30,000 up. That's too deep, right? That's too deep. Anybody? We talked about having posture in your position. You just when you call and follow up with people that didn't want to go, you just update them on your progress and your success. Hey, since we last talked, I was just recognized in front of 12,000 people. That's why we took pictures this weekend, right? Right. So we can show everybody that told us, no, listen, I was in my heels, I was in my dress, I was in my suit, listen, in front of all these people, look, I just got promoted to such and such and such and such. How's your last 2 months been treating you? Does that make sense? So we went from mental notes of the hot button, right? As soon as you get off the phone, you got to write it down. You got to write down those mental notes because if they say what gets written down gets tended to, what gets tended to gets done. So if you write it down, you're organizing your organization to where you won't get conversations crossed up. Because they got a concept called dialing for dollars, right?
Right.
If you're dialing for dollars, and you call 20 names, how do you decipher from all those conversations? All those hot buttons, all those scenarios, all those situations, everything that's going on. How do you decipher from that? If you don't write down every case, because you got to be able to call back a month from now, and what's going to impress them is that you cared enough to listen to what they had going on in their life. And so 2 months from now, you call back and know and pinpoint exactly what they were going to go through. They think you remembered it, not wrote it down, aren't they? They're going to think you so good that you remembered them because they don't know how many people you calling. They think because you said, hey, listen, I immediately thought of you. Am I right? So they think you remember exclusively about them and what they got going on, and you really want to help them. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Does that make sense? So what you want to do is after the mental note, write down everything plaguing them in their life, what they do, family, how many kids they have. If you can get the kids' names, how would it make you feel if you said, hey, it's not for me. 3 months later, you lost your job, and I called you and said, hey, I just called to check on little Tommy. And we only had one conversation. Does that make sense? That made me open up more to make more necessary, right? I just called to check on your wife, Cheryl, to see how her cosmetology courses was going. Mental notes, then physical notes, and then you take those physical notes, because some of that information is going to be call me here, call me there, boom, and that's when you start scheduling appointments. Based on all your dialing for dollars, you put all the information into your planner. So go from your notebook to your planner. Schedule your week based on conversations from dialing for dollars. And every night before you go to bed, you do confirmation, expert confirmation with yourself. And tomorrow, this is what I have to do. Don't doctor's office do it? Mm-hmm. Right? They call you and say what? The night before.
You got an appointment.
You got an appointment. So you don't have to call yourself. Just look at your planner the night before you go to bed and say, hey, listen, tomorrow at 12, I got an appointment with Ray Ray. Tomorrow at 3, I got an appointment with Cynthia. Tomorrow at 4, if you don't write it down, guess what you'll be doing? You'll be building your business on the whim from your cell phone while going to do laundry. You're going to be inviting people out to the BOM while running an errand to go get, go to the post office for your mama. How many people building their, be honest, how many people building their business on the fly right now? No appointment, just from the cell phone. You know what I'm saying? And so appointments. This is a professional business, all right? Mm-hmm. Any more questions? So organize your organization. We told you how to go through the information, right? How to get to the three-way and how the three-way is supposed to be handled. Let me go, just finish up how the three-way is supposed to handle. What did you like most about what you saw after I go through the form and all that? Now I got the hot buttons that I can massage to close them into the business. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just going to use the ammunition they gave me against them. If they need time, that's all I'm going to talk about is how I'm going to get their time back with the NT questions. Shouldn't, wouldn't, didn't, couldn't. Couldn't you use an extra 2 weeks a year in the Bahamas? Something that's attractive, but it's the answer to whatever their problem is. And it's an open-ended question to where they're not going to say no. Wouldn't you love to be at all the PTA meetings and volunteer at your school, at your children's school or church? They're not going to say no to that. Right? Do you see an opportunity for you and your family? Why? Because people make emotional decisions. If you just leave it independent to them, they may not want it right now. But guess what? If you can help them think of how many straight days they slept on the couch because of money being funny, right? Because they drove out their wife gas because they didn't have money to put in their own car. Those are issues that we can fix. And so if you say for you and your family, people think about the problems they got at home too. Mm. And they may make a decision like, I need something to help me get out of this bind. I'm facing divorce. I'm facing foreclosure, repossession. You and your family. And they're going to say, well, yeah. And guess what you tell them? Well, great. When do you see yourself getting started? Use the word getting started. Don't use join. Join is kryptonite. Does that make sense? Join is kryptonite. As soon as you say join, they're going to ask you that famous word. What is that, a pyramid? As soon as you say join, oh. Even if you got them with their hot button, as soon as you say join, guess what they're going to go back to? It's a pyramid. When do you see yourself getting started? And they're going to say, well, right now. If it's right now, stop whatever you're doing, stop the conversation, get them a rep ID number. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. No.
RIN numbers speak louder than words. Which y'all I believe the back office. Everybody know that's my saying. RIN numbers speak louder than words. They're talking about, I'm going to get in, I don't want to do this. And stop the conversation. All right, how would you like your name to appear on your account? What card are you using? That's posture, right?
Yeah.
That's like you expect for them to come in. Some of us, we get on the line like, oh, you serious? You? Those are the people that told us no, am I right? Candace, am I right? So many people, you shaking, typing it in. You get a rep, you like, ooh, yes. Please don't lose. The longest minutes of the day is when you put the information in and it's thinking, right? Right? When it's thinking, because you done got some declines, right?
Yeah,
when
man.
it's thinking, you like, okay. But put the information into the system and ring numbers speak louder than words. So I don't believe nobody is in till they have a ring. Right? And then if you get them in, immediately quick starter. Then expose them to as many people send a text message out to welcome them. Get people in and stop them from quitting. If people feel a part of something, engaged in something, they may be like introverted at work. They may have no friends in their life. They may have no family. They may be the only person. So if you get them involved immediately into like a group setting, we try to take it from you showing up by yourself, not knowing nobody, to look now, to a family, to where you can't quit on the person that you're sitting next to right now. That's what we said, right? You tell the person you're next to you can't quit on them. So we want to get them in the business to where they build relationships to where they don't want to get quit on that relationship. When we recognize people, it's not to highlight that somebody's producing over somebody else. Some people think that if you're not having success, they like, man, why I can't put nobody in. They keep texting my phone. Number one is to recognize some people, this guy named Jarvis Brookshire just got a Star Wars said they hadn't called his name since junior year high school football. He been at the post office for 17 years. And so how many other people are like him? So him just getting that award or seeing a text message saying congratulations and him having D.L. Woods asking him a text or call him and say, hey man, welcome to the team. Showing love like that, that's what it's for. And if someone in 10 days, it's not to throw it in your face. It always includes a number for you to congratulate them and also do what if you're a quick thinker? What is it you did? How many people doing that with those text messages we sending out? If I see in 30 days and I've been in the business 60 days, guess who I'm calling first? Man, how did you hit in 30 days, Marky Lewis? If you don't mind telling me. And if we're all a family, you're going to take 30 minutes of your time. We're friends. I want to see you win. Right? That's the culture we want to create. That's why I send the numbers out. I send the numbers out so you can call. Does that make sense? And so going back to when you see yourself getting started, hey, put them in the system. And if they say they don't have the money, what y'all do? That's it.
Capture that list.
Other successful people.
Right. Some people say date. Give me a date. I immediately soften the blow of them feeling sorry for themselves. Because if they say, oh man, I don't got, they feel sorry for themselves. Y'all remember the Feel, Felt, Found that Alan went over? Mm-hmm. Guess what I use? Man, I know exactly how you feel. Because I felt the same way.
Right.
Until I found the power of residual income. Whatever an objection is, I know exactly how you feel because I felt the same way. A little over 3.5 years ago, till I found the power of leverage. And now I never have to feel that way again. But it costs you nothing to get started. Listen, we got conference calls, we got trainings, we got quick start webinars, we have events you can come out to for absolutely free. And as you're securing your network, learning this industry, getting your money together, you can be light years ahead of the people who do just jump in. So it make it look like it's a positive that they don't have the money. Right? Right. And then you schedule 3 to 5 PBRs if they did have the money and was getting started. Why don't we do that? Hey, I know you didn't have the money, but listen, I believe so much in you, we're going to still get you started in this business. Let's schedule 3 to 5 PBRs so we can secure your network before some of these other reps get to them. So, and then you pull out your calendar, look at what you got, and say, listen, I got Thursday and Saturday free at 2 and at 9. Which one works best for you? Did I ask them? Told them. People are used to being told what to do ever since 3 years old in kindergarten. Get in line, go eat, take a nap, clean your room, turn the TV off, go to bed. It's not, do you want to go to bed? Do you want to get in line? Do you want to go use the bathroom? Do you want to get hungry? So people are used to being told what to do. That's why we accept jobs. I need somebody to tell me everything I need to do. Am I right, guys? So why do we start asking people when it comes to five links? Are you coming to the meeting? We asked them our own executive going to nationals. Didn't we? Are you going to nationals? What the boss say if they got a national convention at Walmart? Hey, listen, Kansas City, you got to be there 25th through the 28th of August.
They hang up the phone.
And then what they going to say? If you got a big event for your company, what are they going to tell you? They're going to say, hey, Darren, are you going to our national convention? Are they going to say that? No. So why do we treat this business like people have options if we bosses? If we a boss, our boss don't play. They don't. Hey, do you want to have more than 4 days you can miss all year? Do you want to bring back a death certificate and an obituary from that funeral? Do you want to have more than an hour lunch break? Do they say any of those things, Crystal? You need to be at nationals. Right, so that's how we secure their network. We hold those PBRs. We tell them what days. Pull it out on your calendar. If you're over the phone, flip through some pages. Make it seem like, look, listen, you busy. You really running a business. Listen, let me see what days I got free. They take you serious then. I got Saturday at 3. I got Monday at 5. Which one works best for you? Monday at 5. Okay, I'm gonna arrive about 4 to make sure everything's cool. In between time, I need you to write a list of 100 names of the most successful people you know, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna reach out to them and turn that into $3,000 when you get your money.